What's going on, Paisanos? V here. I went to the Lexington, Kentucky regionals. Well, yesterday, a couple of days ago. Whenever you're watching this video, and I made top cut. Top 32 was the count. I forgot how many players were at the event. It was 9 rounds, and it was a great event. I played Random Bistios. I think it's the best deck, and I'm gonna get behind everything about what happened in the event and how everything went down. What card I might consider changing. But what I want to show you right now is my deck. It's a 41 card deck, side and extra. We'll go over all that. I'm show that to you right out the gate, and then we'll go into more specifics. So once again, like I said, it's a 41 card deck. We got 3 Alubers. We have 3 Radiant. That's the Kaiju, the Dark Kaiju. 2 Despia and Tragedy. 2 Fauna Albaz. 2 Tribegame Courier. 2 Ash Blossom and Joy Spring. 1 Dark Magician. 1 Albion. The Shrouded Dragon. 1 Ablibitin. 1 Bistio Saronir, 1 Blazing Cartesia, 1 Gimmick Pumpkin Nightmare. This is all your monster lineup. So once again, kind of standard for a lot of the players, but for me it's standard. For our traps, we are writing 3 of them. Branded Banishment, Branded Retribution, and Branded Expulsion. And then we go right into spells. 3 Branded Fusions, 3 Fusion Deployment, 3 Allure of Darkness, 3 Cross-Out Designator, Gold Sarcophagus, Branded in Red, Branded Loss, Branded in White, and double Branded Opening. So that's the main deck. Once again, like I said, it's 41 cards. We'll go over into the side deck. 3 Triple Tactics Thrust, 2 Sewer Poly, 2 Talents, 3 Drone Lockbird, double Evenly Match, 1 D-Barrier, 1 Eradicate Epidemic Virus, and 1 Deck Devastation Virus. And now we're going to go into the extra deck. Double Mirror Jade, double Granganul, double Dragoon, double Albion, double Lubellion, and then we have 1 ofs Masquerade, Predator Planet Drexapelia, Garuda, Despian, Queritus, and Guardian Chimera. Alright, so the way I do my profiles is I like to show the deck and then show everything backwards, give reasonings, things I might consider changing. The extra deck for this event was perfect. Some people want to say, well, what about Ringbrum? The problem with Ringbrum is it's only good against ideally the Kashira matchup. I'm just exhausted. I didn't get much sleep. It's only good against the Kashira matchup, and the problem with the Kashira matchup is, well, we don't need to put extra cards in. We have a pretty good matchup against Kashiras the way they play. The conservative build, the more aggressive build, well, we might want to consider changing it, but for the most part, it's good where it is right now. So that's why I didn't want to add that in there. I wanted to be consistent because I wanted to have my Ecclesia card to be good. So I wanted to play second Granganol, knowing that I would get value off it. There are also games that I still go into a second Granganol. I've done that a lot throughout this past weekend. Same with Dragoon. So if you're playing against a Kashira player, they're probably going to go for your 2 Mirror Jades. That would be the ideal way to go. But realistically, Dragoon is a problem for them as well. Massive problem. So if they get rid of your Mirror Jades, you still got Dragoon. So technically we have 4 boss monsters that they have to respond to. And a lot of times, I'll see a lot of players just go, oh, I'll get rid of 1 Mirror Jade and hopefully try to get rid of the second one. I'll go, cool, I'll go into Dragoon. And then we just kill them that way. It's really easy. It's insanely simple. If they do get rid of Dragoons, well, we still are just back to default Despias, which has a really good matchup. I think the extra deck is perfect. I did put Queritus in instead of Proskinion. I love Proskinion. I think it's an excellent card. But Queritus is that card that's going to help you beat the Sword Soul matchup. This is literally just solos that entire matchup, this one card. So that's why I decided to put this card in, because I saw a lot more players were playing Sword Souls. I wanted to respect that deck, so Queritus was the card to answer that deck for. So once again, the extra deck is for the most part perfect. And at this event, I was able to get my Starlight Mirror Jades. It only cost me 800. Not bad, actually. Alright. For the side deck, I'm going to put these to the side. I'll explain these in a second. D-Barrier, you just need 1 of. Evenly Match, I was debating on putting 2 or 3. Because this card is still very impactful. But I feel like if I also put a 3rd Evenly Match, I'd rather have a Harvey's Feather instead. But once again, it's up to you. It's up to your interpretation. Even Match was still a very, very good card. Drone Lockbird was a card I didn't like going into this event, and after this event, I liked a lot now because a lot of decks are so weak against Drone Lockbird. It's crazy. I played. I forgot what round it was, but it was like a runic. It was a runic sprite variation with Live Twins. I draw him, he just basically passes turn. So this card's really good. It makes a lot of decks just pass turn. If you're not playing Kashiras or Branded, and you're getting hit with Draw and Lockbird, you're ideally passing turn. Don't put this in against either one of those two decks. It realistically does nothing. But anything else, this card's pretty good. All right. So I did play 2 Talents and 3 Thrust. I love Talents. It's my favorite card in the game. But Thrust is also a phenomenal card. And if you're going first, you're going to want to ideally see Thrust to set your D barrier up. So the way I see it is, I could play 3 Talents or 3 Thrust. If you're watching at home, you can play 2 Thrusts and 3 Talents, depending on how you want to view the game state. The reason why I like this, because if I'm playing this card, if I'm putting this card in with this card as well as Talents, I'd rather see Thrust setting a D barrier, because that's going to stop Kashiras. That's going to stop Branded. This will hurt them. This will just outright stop them. So that's why I went 3 on Thrust. But yeah, and I'm playing 2 Pseudo Polys. So I have a Deck Devi and Eradicator. Eradicators for any kind of Runic matchups. I thought we were going to see a lot more Runics. We really didn't. But this card pretty much solos Runics, and once again, you can easily bring it out either one of these with Thrust. And then you got Deck Devi, in case I saw a deck that was like Live Twin Sprites, any of that. This card's not bad against that. I want to test it out at this event. These cards are good. I like these cards, but I probably will not be playing these cards moving forward. I think these are excellent cards, but moving forward, I think the meta is slowly shifting again. Instead, I don't know what I would play. Probably more backward removal to respect Labyrinth more. I did see a lot of Labyrinth at this event. I think a lot of players are going to Labyrinth because of how good the deck can be. So these will probably be 2 slots to respect Labyrinth. I'll probably have another video coming out soon showing you what these 2 slots are. Overall, though, the rest of the side deck was pretty much perfect. I went to all these cards a lot throughout the event, like a crazy amount. There's not one card I didn't go through. There were at times where I was just going 3 Thrusts, 1 Talents, and double evenly and like a D barrier, something like this. Or even like this, I would go into a lot of. And now play the second Talents, and that's because I really wanted to see the Thrust. There are also times when I did this, and that's when I went first, ideally. If I went first, I kind of did something similar to, well, I just took this out, obviously, but I did something like this, because I want to open these at the even ratio. I love to open both of these like a Branded Fusion, and the Ash Branded Fusion, they're just in a world of hurt, because you're gonna be able to Talents with a D barrier, Thrust, smack them in the face. So that's really cool as well. And of course, you got, since we're on Crossroads Designator, this is a good target for Crossroads Designator. So a lot of cool things we could do with that. As far as the side deck is really, really cool in this deck, the way it's designed. Going into the main deck, I'll tell you right now, I played 2 Branded openings. When the new set comes out, this will be 3, I promise you. And we're going to lower the amount of Alubers we're going to be playing. But the reason why I wanted to play less Branded openings and more Alubers is because this card isn't good right now enough to be at 3. Don't get me wrong, it's a great card, but for the most part, we have a summon. It's Aluber. There's nothing else we ideally want to summon, so why would we dedicate a slot to a card that could basically be a brick if we open Aluber? It doesn't make much sense. So this is why I wanted to have this card at 3. I like to match ratios. I'm a weird like nerd when it comes to matching ratios. We play 2 of these with 2 Tragedy, 3 Allure, and 2 Mercuria. Because it helps all allure ratios. I like that a lot. I think that's really cool. But yeah, you don't need more than 3 at the moment. I do think in time you will need 3, but that's not until the next set comes out. Brandon White was the card I was testing off for this event. Because we run Dark Magician, and I don't know about you, if you guys play Brandon, but I draw Dark Magician all the time. I just ordered the Starlight Rare, the Dyke Starlight Rare Dark Magician. I draw this card all the time, and this plus any dragon, hey, makes this live, so that's a thing. But unfortunately, I did resolve it one time throughout the event. I went Brandon and White, and they were like, okay. And then I think I got rid of Dark Magician and some other goofy card. I forgot what it was. I think it was Fauna Albaz or something. Sent it to the graveyard, and basically was able to make Dragoon and then Branded Fusion, which is cool, but yeah. But I'll tell you right now, Brandon White's a great card. I don't know moving forward if I would still play it or not. I don't hate it. I think it's great still, but the application of it doesn't come up as much as I would like to. But I still have to test out more with the card. Obviously, Brandon lost Brandon in red. Some people are trying to play 2 Brandon Red. Some builds playing 2 Brandon Red. I think Brandon Red at 2 is a great idea, especially if you're running like double Mercuria. Well, just in general, but like double a Tragedy Mercuria in hand for Chimera. It also makes your Chimera play a lot better, so that's an option. And then we have Cross Out Designator. This card is like insane. Cross Out Ash. Mirror Match, this card's even better in the Mirror Match. Crossing out a Branded Fusion is mean. There was one play I did as well throughout the event where I crossed out. I did my full combo, I did everything, but I didn't have Game of Public Nightmare at all. It was still in deck, and I just hit that bad boy with a Cross Out Designator. It only lasts the end of turn. So I cross as a given Puppet Nightmare during the end phase, and they're like, okay. And then I'm like, okay, you go, draw. Okay, during draw phase, you have anything? No? Cool. Explosion. And we got Nightmare. Well, you got Nightmare, actually. But, yeah, that was really cool. I like that a lot. Really unhealthy, but that's Yu-Gi-Oh! I loved Cross the Designator for that alone. I thought it was really, really cool. The card definitely is, like, if you're playing Branded, in my opinion, this is a must-have card. Especially with Branded becoming more popular, I think this will also be a must-have card for that as well. Goat Sark's another must-have card. Allure. Some people are starting not to play Allure, which blows my mind because the amount of value you get from Allure is insane. There was one game where I popped off because I had one Dark Monster, a bunch of spells, and one of those spells were Allure, and that one Allure got me so much value. Like, I went in, and I don't know, I'm never taking this card. It's crazy. Then again, I have ultis on bias. All right. Fusion Employment at 3. I think it's good. I don't think it's the best. Because we only have currently 2 targets. But I think it's a great card no matter what. Fusion Employment, go Ecclesia. Oh, what's her name? Not Ecclesia. I always call her Ecclesia, but her goofy name is Cartesia. Fusion Employment, go Cartesia. Summon Aliber. Twice this event, that was a play. So I went Fusion Employment, bring out her, summon Aliber, and activate Aliber effect on summon, obviously. And then they would go like Imperm. This happened like twice throughout this event. And I was like, just chain her effect. Thinking in my mind, because I'm always thinking there's no way that's real, right? Thinking they're just going to be like, oh, okay, I'm just going to hit her ass with an Imperm. That's what I thought. Wrong. They were just like, dope, go ahead. So we made Grand Granule, and then we just like got value. Yeah, I don't know what that's about, but that happened like twice in the event. And one was at earlier table, and one was at a later table. So anyway. And then we have 3 Branded Fusions. Can't wait for that Ultimate Rare and Konami get more money out of me. So a lot of people like to be weird as far as their traps in Branded. We're going to Explosion Lock if we win Dice Roll. That only happened once throughout the event, but it made that entire round the buy. So I went to regionals and I just kind of shuffled some cards and got a free buy because I won Explosion game 1. And then in game 2, they made their board. I think they made the board. They just shut me down, so I couldn't really do anything. So I went to game 3. Game 3, I won Explosion again. This card is the bot. It gives you free rounds. Why would you not want that? If you win game 1, this card gives you free game 1s. Excellent card. Branded Banishment is a card that I'm back and forth on. If you're going first, it's actually not that good of a card. If you're going second, I think this is a much better card because you can like prepare yourself for that game state. You're okay with losing an Aliber. You're okay with Fallen Albas going to the graveyard. It will set this card to be better. It's really situational though. I still think it needs to be in the main though. Because of how good this card is. I still think it's a great card to have in main. And then we have Branded Retribution. I like Branded Red better than Banishment, but I like Banishment for the full combo line of Branded Explosion. If you want to know about the full combo line, it's on my channel, the whole combo line with Branded Explosion and all that stuff. Alright, different deck list though. Okay, I'm only playing 2 Ash Blossom and Joyous Springs, and the reason why is because I don't want to open this card at 3. I don't care about this card. I don't want to brick in this card. I just want this for Cross-Out Designator. I will say there were times where I've asked people, and it worked. So, it's a good card, but you don't want to open 2 of these. If I open 1 of these, I'm okay with it. 41 card deck, I open 1 of these, and there's 1 in the deck, so my Cross-Out Designator is good. I'm okay with that. So, that's why I did that. So a lot of players don't like Double Mercuria and Double Tragedy. The fact that we're playing 3 Allure Darkness makes it so this is important. The only time is like when you side, you can take these 2 out when you side, so you can get more of what you need. But if you open Allure Darkness, it makes these cards so much better, like insane better. There are a lot of times where I open Allure Darkness, and because I had these cards, I was able to go deep into my game state, draw a ton of cards, set my board up a lot easier. And the more you do that, the more you can play around getting hit by Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring on your Branded Fusion. You could draw into a Cross-Out Designator, or you could go into the entire Grand Granola, Game Up with Nightmare lock without even touching Branded Fusion. It actually happened, I think, like 3 times this event where I Game Up with Nightmare lock my opponent, but I didn't use Branded Fusion because I just couldn't get to it, or it got ashed. So, really good still. Double Fallen Albas, you don't need to play 3 anymore. 3 was only because everyone was trying to 5-lock. 5-lock is the only reason why you wanted 3 with Kashiras. That's the only reason. Now you just go 2. It's more consistent as well. So, I also ran 3 Radiant Kaiju. I love this card. I think this card's great in this deck. It's also dark for Allure. It's an excellent card that's going to be able to help you get rid of a lot of problems. You play against like Sword Souls, you could go ahead and, you know, hand that over to them. Pretty good. You play against there's a lot of decks that try to like put like a body on board. Kashiras, you know, same thing. I think this is also a necessary card. People are considering playing like Lava Golems or all the goofy stuff when branded. You can't realistically play anything. This card, it's a 1-for-1 exchange, which ideally isn't good at the current meta. But the reason you're okay with the 1-for-1 exchange because everything else gets you value. So you 1-for-1 exchange on a card that was already going to take a card out of your hand. So you just get rid of the problem to hold it 100%. You substitute it with just a beefy 2800, and then you create your entire board. So that's why I like this card a lot. So let's talk about Bystials. I love Bystials. I own a playset of every single Bystial. I really want to play Bystials in this build. I might even create another build that uses Bystials because I think they're really good still. But I don't think this build needs Bystials that much. And this build you want to be consistent as possible. And you don't need Lubellion because the only target for Lubellion is Brenda Lost. You don't realistically need any other Bystial monster other than one Saranier to help you, like, once again, if you want to do the Grand Granola line combo with Nightmare, you just need a Saranier. That's basically it. So, you don't need that much, and I think that one Saranier was more than enough. It's a great card. Bystials are a great interruption, and I do think Bystials are slowly starting to come back into branded players' decks, and I might even consider it, but right now, I think this is perfect. Everything else is pretty much the same, right? Yeah, we ran that, and that. Yeah. Alright, so I'm not gonna go by my run by rounds. I went 6 wins, 3 losses. Here's my 3 losses. One of my losses was actually forgot. I think he just straight up beat me. He got to his stuff before I got to my stuff. It just happens. Another loss, I broke back-to-back games, so that was free for him. And then another loss, I was playing against Sword Souls. I went into game 3, and I had Suapali in hand, and I decided to set it. I had nothing in hand. I got ashed, and I had nothing else, nothing of value. So I had Suapali in hand, and an extra card. And for some ungodly reason, I decided to set Suapali with the thought of, oh, don't worry about it. I'll just go into Garura. I don't know why I thought that play. I have no idea. That was a terrible play to think about. Had I held the Suapali, my next draw was Fallen Albas. I could have went Fallen Albas, no effects, Suapali, go into Mirror Jade, and just pop off. Unfortunately, I did make a misplay. It happens. It happens. And I'm glad the kid, the one, he played really well. But it's definitely something that, as a competitive player, I need to keep an eye out for. I'm not going to make that many excuses other than the fact that I haven't played this game in a while. I've been working with a buddy of mine, so I every now and then I would go and play cards with some friends, but basically that's it. The deck is, in my opinion, almost perfect. I'm going to make a couple of changes to the side. In respect to some other decks, but this is an excellent deck. I think it's the best deck in the game right now. Once again, I did get top 32, but this deck gets even better with the new support. I'll have some videos coming out talking about that, guys. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe to the channel for more brand stuff. This is the only thing I'm playing. I got rid of a ton of stuff, and I'm still working on. I'm still working on getting a Starlight Grand Granola and a Starlight, whatever this bro's name is, Cartesia. So I was trying to get it at the event. They didn't have it. Luckily, they did have the Starlight Mirror Jades. We grabbed those bad boys up. But I'm trying to work on this deck to get it nice and clean. Because I like it. Dragoon, I don't think we're getting that card Starlight. I think it's good enough secret rare. But anyway, guys, I really appreciate you watching my video. Make sure to hit the like button, subscribe button, comment down below. It's your boy V. And you puzzles have a great day.